Welcome back to Dark Corner's Physical Media Reviews.
A funny thing happened on the way to Mars.
We're looking at Viavision's Blu-ray release of 1977 conspiracy thriller Capricorn One. Somewhere between The Martian for the cynical 70s and Wag the Dog in space. Astronauts Brubaker, Willis and Walker, played by Josh Brolin, Sam Waterston and O.J. Simpson, are all ready for the first manned mission to Mars when...
Would you and your men please follow me?
The rocket takes off without them as they are whisked away by mission director Dr. Kellaway, who explains that there was a problem with the life support.
We found out 2 months ago it won't work.
But if they admit it, then their funding is cut. It's an election year.
Hollis, there are a number of people who feel that we have problems right here on Earth that merit our attention before we spend billions of dollars on outer space.
Leaving one option. Fake it.
You don't really think you're going to get away with this?
Naturally, the astronauts are resistant, but...
What about our families?
They're flying back from the Cape to Houston. They're all together on the plane.
Reluctantly, they play along, and aside from a few hiccups...
The television signals are coming in ahead of the spacecraft signals. It's like they're closer or something.
All is well. Until things go south and the astronauts become problematic.
I say we get the hell out of here.
And so, halfway through, this becomes a very different type of thriller. Running alongside this is reporter Robert Caulfield, played by Elliot Gould, who knows something is going on.
Been here a million times. Elliot's a friend of mine and he lives in this apartment.
If only because someone is clearly out to get him. Caulfield's investigation eases the transition from conspiracy to action, so you never feel the lurch of a gear change. It's a very natural progression.
A newspaper, a television station, any place we can show up and be seen, then it's over.
One of the great strengths of Capricorn One is its structure. It all feels very considered, very well laid out, medium-paced, nothing forced, and yet it is a properly tense thriller. Interestingly, and contrary to most conspiracy thrillers, it's also a very personal one.
I don't think it was important enough for him to die for.
Usually the cover-ups being laid bare are huge, soylent green-sized things that affect all of us. This really doesn't affect anyone except for the protagonists themselves.
Piece of cake.
Although it's a conspiracy thriller, it's weighted towards thriller. It's about survival, the conspiracy merely providing an interesting backdrop.
He couldn't get over how something so fake could look so real.
It's also one of those rare films in which I don't think any single element or performance particularly stands out. It's all working together in, for want of a better term, a very un-movie way.
It's hard for me to believe it, too.
Only Caulfield's assignment director stands out as a creation of pure Hollywood cliché, and the movie does at least acknowledge it.
The assignment editor's supposed to say, you got 48 hours, kids, and you better come up with something good or it's going to be your neck. That's what he's supposed to say. I saw it in a movie.
Plus, Telly Savalas adding to his list of cameos in which he seems to be in a completely different film from everybody else.
You want to speak to somebody in charge? You're speaking to both of them.
I was lucky enough to see Capricorn One on an IMAX screen as part of the Forbidden Worlds Film Festival. Lovely guys, please check them out. As part of a retrospective of director Peter Hyams. And here, Hyams provides solid commentary, filled with insight and fun trivia, like the fact that O.J. Simpson's head was too big for his helmet, and their Mars landscape was made less authentic by a cat using it as a litter box. This release includes the theatrical cut and the director's cut, which was the theatrical cut in England and Japan, and this is the first time that cut has been released outside of Japan, which is exciting, although the chatty commentary by David Kremer and Daniel Waters describes the extra footage as
shuttle porn. Yes, they call it, yeah.
Jesus Christ, I didn't see this porn in the first.
There's also an interesting documentary, vintage featurette, and behind-the-scenes footage, as well as interviews with Gould, Brenda Vaccaro, producer Paul Lazarus, and Daniel Schweiger talking about Jerry Goldsmith's score. It is unfortunate that Capricorn One gave a lot of unintended fuel to nonsense conspiracy theories.
Sometimes I have an imagination that's a bit too vivid.
But that's not the film's fault. As a film, I really love it. It's high stakes, yet low key. Fantastic, yet very grounded in how it's presented. It would have been so easy to go full throttle melodrama, and the restraint shown makes this for me.
That was some speech.
I thought so.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. From what I read, this is not one that everyone loves. Let us know what you think in the comments below.